Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the European crossover webinar. And we did go in and see the euro make a run. We actually faded back 20 pips after tagging a key zone on the 2-hour chart. We've seen the cable pair back just a little bit. We'll take a quick look at that, and we'll see what news is on the horizon. Let's take a look at that. I posted that chart earlier in the chat room. You can see right here on the 2-hour chart, you see it on the 30-minute tube, came and hit that thing right to the tick or pip, depending on if you're talking about the futures or the cash. But you can see here, this, I didn't even know it was going to make it up to this area, but that 1988 is a zone that I already had previously before. If you run across these bodies, hit that thing right to the tick. I think it took it out by half a tick, and then since then we've gone and paired back. About a good 20, nearly, yeah, actually 20 ticks in rather quick nature. That's on the 2-hour chart, and of course here it is on the 30-minute chart. Same 1988. Try to see this market gather itself right here at that level. And we'll take a look at the cable. I actually have this 3908. It hasn't quite hit that, but this is a pretty key area here too. This 3908 right here. There's a little zone between this 3808 and 3822. Have formed a little bit of a short-term pullback. We'll see if it takes this out. My guess is then we'll make it up to 3822, which will be the bottom of this trend line here. Taking a look at news, we did get Spanish CPI come in the last hour, came in at 1.3%, and we do have industrial production that's due up at the top of this next hour. Do have a 30-year German Bund auction. That will not be for about another hour and a half. And then coming to the States, we will have export prices and import prices at 8:30 Eastern. And Lagarde speaks today at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we do have crude oil data that comes out at 10:30 Eastern here in the States. We did see new highs here. Once again, that's nothing new here in the NASDAQ. Still pushing on. And here in the S&Ps. Just no give back here. We did see Bitcoin actually hit our extension target, or not extension, just a target that I had, which is 64,775. I've been talking about that, I think, for about a week. And we actually had that as our was going to be our next immediate target if it broke out of this area. And you can see here we just got past 64,775, came up short of 65,000, and we're actually just pulled back a bit. We're at 64,400 with that high that we did get 64,775 before it pulled back. See euro trying to gather itself after that really quick dip. There it is on the 5-minute chart. And cable. Let's go on and go into the main screen. I just might as well start the analysis. So the euro broke out of its recent tight range, you can see it here, to the upside coming within 3 pips of the bias chart resistance, which yesterday was 1959. Resistance for Wednesday will be 1964, and the high today has been 1973, so it exceeded that. So let's go ahead and mark this off here. So I'm going to stick with what we had, which we have 1964, although it did go to 1973. So it exceeded that and then actually ran out of gas right there and saw a pretty good little pullback. Support is going to be 1960, and that's way down there. And let's go and move on to cable. Cable closed slightly higher after testing the 37 level. Resistance for Wednesday will be 37.90 with support at 37.16. Actually, high today has been 37.98, so same thing, pushing the edges there. So 37.90, 37.16. And like I said, it did make it up to 73 here on the euro and 98. I don't like to just change it for the sake of changing it and look like I just make it fit. Okay, oh, the high today is 98. Keep it at 90. If we saw something that's really out of the norm, let's say cable was up 130 pips or something like that, well, that's different. Then that'd be silly to just keep it here when, let's say, the high in cable was already 38.59 or something like that. But well, I like to stay true to the analysis I have. I put in Asia, unless there's something of a material change, some key thing comes out, or we really hit out. It'd be crazy if the euro were to get to, 2008. I mean, like 2025. I mean, 2025. And here I am still saying, oh, the high is 1964. But anyway, that being said, let's go and move into the Aussie. So the Aussie remained in its tight range on Tuesday. Wednesday's resistance remained 76.70. Looks like we powered through that also. With support at 75.64. No changes. So you can see we did, I don't want to say blast it, but we've got above 76.70. They may take it up as high as 76 if they want to stretch at 76.97. But once again, we'll stay with the 76.70, which is had. The only difference is, now here's the difference, it's pushing through here. So we'd want to go 76.70 and then /90. There's that lower edge, you see right there? So maybe they run it up to there. Which comes in right there. Actually, I'm sorry about that. That would be 97. Correct that. Because and the key thing is we're breaking above here. You see here? So it doesn't mean, okay, it's going to stop and just rotate lower. So if we could see some further short covering, which could potentially take us up to 97. Support then, we'll just keep it for either 75.64. It is pushing above, so I guess we could update. It's not even going to be much. It's going to be right there to 76.01. It still isn't even saying much. If we're seeing things break above. So we'll see here. I mean, you have to have a pretty good turnaround to see it just turn around and come right back. So that's a material change because we are starting to push above this. We'll see whether or not we can push them for the stops. Now let's go to the dollar yen. The dollar yen came down with a thud on Tuesday with its lowest close in 3 weeks. Support for Wednesday will be 8.79, what's the low so far? 8.76. with resistance at 936. So 879, 936. Let's go to the cash dollar index. The dollar index posted its lowest close in 3 weeks, reinvigorating the bears. Support for Wednesday will be 91.61. It's the low so far. 91.66. 91.61 with resistance at 92.31. 91.61. And as weak as this seems, well, I mean, it is pretty distant, first of all, so just jump up to 92.31. But we'll keep it in check right now. It looks like now we're try to make this a bit of a more formidable move. But you can see there's some good support right in here. You see that right there? Maybe we can dip a little bit, but this is a good little support zone right in here. Next, we'll go to Bitcoin. You can see that here. So Bitcoin broke above the 61,300 level on Tuesday, and that was our resistance, opening the challenge to the interim target of 64,775 as resistance, which will be today's resistance, or as resistance. Support will be 61,300. So we did hit that target. We're going to use that as our resistance, which seems to be holding right now, 64,775. We talked about this target, I think, almost a week ago. I guess it's maybe a little bit less than a week ago. And our old resistance will now be support. There we go. Right now we're 64,506. So now let's go move into the S&Ps. This is just bananas. I can't even trade this stuff because it just goes in one direction. There's no give back. If it's a little bit, if there's a give back, there's hardly no give back. So you just have no choice. You just gotta just buy something and just blindly hold it and hopefully just keep going up. Well, I'm looking to spend more time with the euro and the cable now. S&P continued its upward assault, missing the bias chart resistance by 2 handles. Remember, yesterday our bias chart resistance was 41.41, and the high was 41.39 1/4. So it was even less than 2 handles. Resistance for Wednesday will be 41.48 with support at 41.21. And right now it's at, the high was 41.38, so it hasn't moved very much at all. So support will now be 41.21. Moving on to NASDAQ. NASDAQ reached the all-time highs, which is going to be 13,890. Resistance for Wednesday will be 14,030. We're supported 13,900. And then on to gold. This thing really turned around. We had our bias chart support at 17.22, and it missed it by only $1. But I did not expect this to make this kind of a turnaround, though, at the same token. Gold found support $1 above the bias chart support, which was 17.22, on its way to triggering stops above 17.36 to 17.50. No explanation for the strength, as it may be tied to taking a risk move from the rival Bitcoin. So then in this case, back in the day, when that long ago, a couple of years back maybe, if gold rallied, then it could drag up Bitcoin. Now it looks like it's going the other way around. This Bitcoin move helped drag up gold. Resistance for Wednesday will be 1756. Currently the high right now is 1750.7. With support is 1741. So 1756, 1741. And finally with crude oil, no, we're still scooting. We do have data today. Crude closed above $60 on Tuesday, opening a potential run. Resistance for Wednesday will be 61.89 with 62.20 as a target. Support will be 59.76. So 61.89. And a potential target for 62.20 going forward. And support is going to be 59.76. There we go. Now, with that being said, then we're going to take a look at profile and see where we stand along this stuff. So let's go on and go to the next screen. We've hit the key levels, which is really what it's all about. And let's see where we stand. So taking a look at the euro, as I said, well, look at this. We're right there. 64.775 was our interim target. Remember back then, from a couple months back, my target for spring was 70,000. We're just about there. So here's that move here, the euro. Made up here to 1998. Let's take a look here. This would be regular trading hours, but then we'll look at the extended hours to see what we find there. That would be regular trading hours, or 1980. Of course, it's not shown on here because this is RTH, so it'd be regular trading hours of the U.S. session. So we'll pull this back. Let's take a look. I'm currently trading at 1965, and the futures trade is a 16-tick premium. So those are traded in 1981. Let's see if we can. You can see here. This is where we're at right now. You're looking here. We're just looking at it because it's not showing anything on here because it's RTH. We'll put the one that has the full session, and I'm more inclined to go that way because there's more volume trading in the European session. Things kick off, and then quiets down the European session. So this one area where this point of control went to 1988, and the high so far in the futures has been 1989. That's what I'm saying. So we hit that area there, and the point value out of the area was 1995, and the high so far has been 1989. So right here, and this lower range here, 1991. So maybe we'd be able to take that up by just a bit. Now let's go on and pull up the, the actual session we're in right now. You can see we're trading at 1983. The high so far is 1989.5. And remember, this is trading at a 16 tick premium because or 1982 and the cash is trading at 1966. So 16 tick premium, just factor that in. This pulls in the entire full session, including the US and Europe. I'm more inclined to go with this because there's more trading kicking off. And you can see here, that's my fault. I didn't know it was going to open up. I actually woke up in time. I just kind of laid over just a little bit. You can see here, man, we opened and look at the volume that hit right from the get-go. Look at this. There's that's what I'm saying. I use this, the opening range, and you can see right there, 2:05, 5 minutes after the thing, and you can see here, look at this volume takeoff. Look at that. Immediately, right off the bat, we hit 2,300, almost 2,400 contracts. And look, and then we shoot up just above to tag that range. And look at the amount of volume. Look at that, 24, 1,600, dip here, these are 5 minutes, 1,700, almost 2,000. So within that time frame, you're looking, I don't know, like maybe 6,000 contracts or something, maybe 7,000 that short amount of time. And of course, we dropped back. Now we're coming right back up here again. Pretty good move back up in here. We talked about that. Maybe we'll get up to this 1999, take that out. Maybe we may run out of gas. We shall see. So now we're going to take a look at the profile, which includes the European session too. Where we're at. We know that we're trading at 16T premium. Let's go on in. There's the price right now. There's your current price right there. So let's see if we can find. You see that point of control? Look at that right there. That's at 1989. Right there, 1989. The high so far has been 1989 also. So you can see why they ran out of gas right there. And they look for confluences. So you look in here, the high mark for this range was 1991. And maybe we could, doesn't mean it stops right there, but with all that amount of volume right there, that's where the market, they were going to lay off, and certainly that's what they did. This value high is 1993. Maybe we can squeeze up a little bit higher. Let's pull this back. Yeah. And this initial balance right there at 1999 kind of makes sense, I guess, almost at 120. But you can see here, if this thing were to try and push even higher, it doesn't seem as likely. That'd be 2013, which if you're looking at a 16 tick premium, will put us at 1997. And currently we're trading 1981. Right now in the futures, which is going to be the cash, is 1964. Take a look at the cable. 6B and cable are only trading at about a one tick difference. Let's look at the 6B. Doggone. What the heck happened? Hmm. Not sure what causes. Let's just go to the regular trading hours. Go with that one. And currently trading at 38. And you can see here, right at the top of this here comes in at 38.05. And you can see this point of control coming in right there at 38.01. And that's where the futures went to, 38.01. You can see we had already hit a point of control. Look at this, these 2 point of controls from here. I was trying to look for actually 3 point of controls. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, all coming in there at 37.94. So that was a pretty good little push there. And then if you want to push a little bit further, there's 138 even. So it's already had a pretty good little run. I think the most you could look here is like 38.05. Remember, we had 38.08 right there. So there we are. Just want to go and share that. We did see the euro pop back up and we've given back. You see right here? And we did show you on that the profile. So it probably was on this dip back in here. We've already had a pretty good run. Look at the amount of volume here. You see that? And look at the low amount of volume on the way back up. So they were able to go and get out of here. We slid back. So that'll be it. Thanks for joining us here on the European Crossover webinar, and we'll see you in the chat.